This week on Tech Talk, we're going to have a look at head angles and fork angles. See these two? The old Monster, pretty upright forks there. Big Cruiser there, forks are kicked out. Why that difference? What difference does it make? I'll show you. Yes, the dreaded shopping trolley syndrome in miniature. You know the sort of thing? The wheel goes absolutely everywhere, no matter how you push it. That's because this steering head is actually vertical. But you'd think on a motorbike, you tilt the steering head back like that. Now look what happens. As if by magic. That wheel, you can come backwards and forwards, you can go round corners, no problems at all. No good for a shopping trolley because you want to steer that all over the place and between cars and whatnot. But here, on a motorbike, that's what you need, some stability. So let's have a look at it in reality. So let's get down to it, as it were. Happen to have a pair of forks here and a front wheel. Now you just imagine if it was like that shopping trolley and you've got the fork stem absolutely vertical, you try wheeling that along, you can just see what had happened. The wheel goes everywhere, kicks off bumps, you'd be in a right mess. If you cant it back a bit like a bike fork, stability much improved. Cant it right back like that, like a big Cruiser, and it's very difficult to steer round corners. And we know Cruisers are like that, don't we? Only joking. Anyway, let's have a look on a bike, on the old VFR here. There's the frame, there's the headstock there. Now that is the thing that gives you your angle. Typically it's between 23, 27 degrees, and that means an angle from the vertical. So that's how many degrees it's back. With the forks clamped on these yokes top and bottom, they follow exactly the same angle as the headstock. A race bike, you can actually vary that a little bit, but this is a road bike and this is how most of them are, so we've got the same angle there. Now the important thing you're going to get is not only the fork rake or headstock angle, you're actually going to measure trail. Now that's the really important bit. Get a bit of chalk there and this bar. As if I put that there, parallel with the fork leg, that's in line with that head angle, more or less. Comes down to the ground, we'll just put a little line there. And that's where the theoretical centre of the headstock would hit the ground. Then the thing to measure, wheel spindle, centre of the wheel where it touches the ground. So let's put that there, it's pretty well central. That's there. Now that bit there is your trail, and that is the bit that's all important, because the less trail, the steeper the forks, the sharper the steering. The more trail, the less steep the forks, and the more stable the bike is. And so what you need is a nice compromise. So for road bike use, you need something like this VFR, a nice neutral handling bike. A racer on a twisty circuit, forks much steeper, that much narrower, very quick steering. But on the road, if you hit a bump, you get into the old tank slapper, and you wouldn't want one of those.